I would say like the petty theft, you know? Like one time I came here and I got my phone stolen, like pickpocketing and stuff. Like it is, so maybe for me, I'm not the best person to ask. I'm sure if you ask some other foreigners, they have a million things that they can complain about. But the key to being a good, sustainable traveler is adapting to your surroundings, adapting to where you are. You cannot come to Ethiopia and expect life to be like America. So one thing I would tell people is don't worry about what people are going to say. If you know you're doing the right thing, if your intentions are in a good place, and you know that you're not doing anything to hurt anyone, then go ahead, do what you got to do. Because like at the end of the day, those people you're not gonna see them again. They're not gonna pay your bills.
Hello beautiful people, how you doing? Hope everyone doing great as usual. So today I'm here with a special guest, also is my friend, a YouTuber, a traveler, and he started his journey here in Ethiopia. And just I'm gonna ask him some question. I'm very sure you love him because he has been here in Ethiopia, and he has some, he can share us his sort of what perspective what he has about Ethiopia and outside of what Ethiopia around the world, because he has been in Ethiopia. So I'm just gonna ask him some question. Let's do this, beautiful people, with this special one.
What's going on, guys? My name is Myer. My channel is Myer Travels on YouTube. You can follow me. You can subscribe to my channel. I've made a lot of videos in Ethiopia. I'm currently making videos in Ethiopia with my friend Tekle TY Travels, also a great YouTuber. So for all the Ethiopian people, you definitely need to follow this guy. He will show you Ethiopia the way none of us can, because he has the real inside perspective, So, but yeah, I started my journey in Ethiopia, like you said. It was about 2.5 years ago. I left my home and I decided I wanted to be a travel vlogger. And the first place I thought of was Ethiopia because I used to live here. I used to be a teacher here.
Oh.
So I understood the country, and I saw that at that time, a few years back, not a lot of people were vlogging in Ethiopia. I think people were afraid to come. They didn't understand. They didn't speak the language. But none of those things were a problem for me because, like I said, I lived here.
Yeah.
I spoke Amarinia Tishalal Tinish, I understood the culture. And I wasn't scared because I know how good Ethiopian people are, So
thank you.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I think it would be really nice to start my journey here. And to be honest with you, sorry I'm going so long, but to be honest with you, like the Ethiopian people supported me so much in the beginning.
Okay.
So much. They're the reason why my channel grew. Okay. So shout out to all the Ethiopian people who are watching. Without them, my channel wouldn't be anything. And so that's why I have so much love and respect for Ethiopia, and I always come back because I think it's only right to come back to the place that made me, So
Thank you, and you are most welcome again, my brother.
Thank you, man.
So, can I ask you where you are originally from? Maybe?
So originally, I was born in America.
Okay.
Born in New York, but I was raised in New York as well.
Mm-hmm.
Raised in New York and New Jersey. For those who know would know. It's very close to each other. But originally, my family is from Pakistan.
Okay.
So I'm 100% Pakistani. But I'm like a mix because born in America, but also have the Pakistani roots. So it's like kind of an interesting mixture for me my whole life.
Yeah.
But I never forgot about my culture. I speak my language.
Okay.
I've been there plenty of times. I've even vlogged there as well. So yeah, I get the best of both worlds pretty much.
That's good. I just would love to listen some word of what your original language, Pakistani language.
So what would you want me to
Is
say?
that one national language you guys have in Pakistan? Or?
So our national language is Urdu. It's like Amharic, right?
Okay.
So, but in Ethiopia, you guys have different languages,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Oromifa, Tigray, right?
Yeah.
We have the same thing. So main language is Urdu. So you can say it's like Amharic, but we have different languages. There's like Pashtun. There's Sindhi. So there's different languages, but the main one is spoken is Urdu.
So would you
I could say some. What do you want? What should I say?
say, for example, subscribe to my travels? So if there are some people watching us from Pakistan.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. अगर लोग देख रहे हैं ये पाकिस्तान से, please मेरा channel को subscribe कर लेना, inshallah.
Thank you, bro. All right, that's good. So, you told me like you've been here a teacher. So, what is the main thing that just forces you to come to Ethiopia? I mean, like, have you been other country? How
So-
you get the chance to teach here in Ethiopia?
So that's a great question, because a lot of people do ask me, like, why did you choose Ethiopia? And you know, I used to live in China before. I was a teacher in China as well.
Okay.
At that time, I actually met a lot of Habesha people, a lot of Ethiopian people.
China?
In China, there was a lot of Ethiopian people. They were studying there, they were working there, and so I really got to meet some really good people from Ethiopia. And you know, I always have this theory that, like, if you meet, like, okay, if you can't travel to a country, one way to know how the country will be and how the people will treat you is to meet people from there.
Uh-huh.
So I met like at least 10 Ethiopian people. And out of those 10 people, I would say all 10 of them were nice to me and kind to me and treated me so nicely. So in my mind, I was like, okay, if these people are like this, then their country is going to be nice, you know? So at that time, I was getting sick of teaching in China. So I was like, I wanted to change. I wanted something really different. And I was like, okay, let's go to Africa. So then I narrowed it down to 2 countries, Tanzania and Ethiopia. I applied to schools for a job in both of those countries.
Okay.
And I actually ended up getting the job in Ethiopia, in Kazanches, in the Swedish school.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is my sign from God. So I accepted the offer. It wasn't a lot of money. I mean, it was mainly for the love of teaching and traveling that I accepted the job. But yeah, I was like, okay, let's go. We're going to Ethiopia. So that's what brought me over, actually meeting Ethiopians outside of Ethiopia. So just to like let people know who are watching, who aren't in Ethiopia, we do represent our country every time we leave. You know,
Exactly,
like when you
exactly.
leave Ethiopia, you are representing a piece of your country. So that's why it's very important to represent it properly. You know,
And that's how you just impressed by those Ethiopians living in China.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, and that's what brought me over here. And then I wasn't let down. I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, it was a bit of a shock in the beginning, but overall, like when I first got here, I was received so warmly by all of my coworkers, and then just people that I would meet. I made friends here. I really got like into the culture of Ethiopia, you know. So it
That's
was like
very
one of the best decisions I made to come here. It really
Wow.
changed my life in a positive way. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
So that's you are teaching English, that?
So I was teaching English mainly, but I was also teaching other subjects like social studies.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't teach math because I'm terrible at math. So I told the school, I said, don't expect me to teach math. Other than that, I could teach everything. So science, you know, general studies, because I was teaching 3rd and 4th grade, so
Okay.
pretty young students, but very impressionable. And you know, I'd like to think that I positively impacted some children. And it's crazy to think that that was almost 7-8 years ago. So some of those kids are probably 18, 19
Now, yeah.
in university now. So I hope they're doing well, you know.
If those students has been taught by this great man, make sure you comment something
Please,
on
guys.
the comment section.
I would love to know how everyone
Yeah,
is doing.
exactly.
But I pray that everyone is doing well, you know.
Hopefully they are doing great. So, you know, so what is something that you love so much here in Ethiopia? I mean, like, you know.
What do I like? It can be anything. Okay, so one thing that I really love about Ethiopia is the uniqueness of the culture. I would say that you cannot compare Ethiopian culture to anything. It's so unique. I mean, I'm talking about the food, the music, the people, the way they are with each other, the language, just the dresses. Everything is so unique. Like, I love that because I'm a traveler by nature, so I love seeing new things and getting new experiences. And sometimes when you travel to some places, it starts to feel the same, you know? Like, let's say you're in Europe and you travel to Italy and then France and then, you know, different countries in that region. Things will be a little bit different, but for the most part, it starts to look the same, you know? But when I came to Ethiopia, the experience, the way it looks, the dresses, the music, the food, the smells, the culture, everything was so different than what I've seen before. And that was one thing that I was just fell in love with the culture. I was like, well, this is so cool, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think just that, you know, that's something that I really love. And I love the coffee. You know what I'm saying? If you guys watch my videos, you'll see like I get coffee every video that I basically make. Obviously, this is the birthplace of coffee.
Yeah.
So I would say that that was probably the thing that like attracted me a lot, was just like having this fresh bunna every day. Like, man, the coffee is so
In the
good.
home, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, so good. So
So guys, you can make sure you follow him on his YouTube, Myer Travels, and you can check out what he just saying here.
Yeah,
He
please.
always used to have coffee first
Yeah.
before he just do anything.
Look, we're in a coffee place right now. We
Yeah.
just got coffee right now, actually. I was like, let's go get some coffee. So,
Yeah.
let's take a walk around. Maybe we can
All right,
also
yeah,
show
yeah,
them. as
sure,
well.
exactly. So we check you again back. Stay tuned, beautiful people. We're coming back.
We're back. We're walking.
Yeah.
Look at this beautiful, man. This is you don't even feel like you're in Addis over here, you know?
So beautiful, exactly.
What is the name of this area?
It's, CMC.
CMC.
Yeah, we are in CMC now.
This is where the rich people live.
Exactly, bro.
We're just walking.
Yeah, we are enjoying this beautiful scene.
Really nice.
Yeah, exactly. So let me keep asking some
Go
questions
ahead,
more,
ask
bro.
away, ask away.
Yeah. So you told me about the culture, and that's one thing
Yeah.
that just forces you to be here a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So would you tell me something that you love so much from the food we Ethiopians have here?
What food that I love?
Yeah, the food you love.
Man, all the foods are so good. I really love chicken at tips. It's my favorite, especially the one that comes out with the fire underneath. That's chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. I love dorowat. Dorowat is really good.
Our famous food.
Famous food, yeah. And then even like just injera is a very like I said, also injera is very unique. You don't see injera anywhere else in the world, you know. That's what I was
It's
saying
only
about
here in Ethiopia.
yeah. That's what I was saying about Ethiopia being so unique. I love injera. It's a very interesting. It's in English we call it like it's something that takes time to grow on you. You know, obviously you guys grow up eating injera, so it's not different for you. But when you first try injera as a foreigner, it's a very different taste. It has like a sour taste, you know. So that takes time to adapt to the taste. But once you adapt to it, it's like you fall in love with it, you know. So I really love it, all of it.
That's good. So where's something that something that you don't like here in Ethiopia?
Very few things that I don't like. I would say one thing that I wish could be better is the just like maybe that's a tough one, bro. It's really tough to say what you don't like.
Come on, bro.
Because I don't want to offend anyone.
Because I think
you know?
the people want to know that. And we can learn something.
Okay, I would say as a vlogger, one thing I didn't like is like it's very tough to vlog here because like people get like very scared of the camera. So like they're very like worried about like what are you doing with the camera, which I understand. You know, I don't want to say that it's like it's annoying because like I understand like maybe people come here and they take advantage of it and they say bad things and stuff, which I never do that, but I understand why they would be scared of the camera. But that makes it tough. But that's only as a vlogger, right? I don't think anybody can relate to that unless you're a vlogger. But in general, what can I say, bro? Give me a second. Let me think about this because I really have to think about it. I would say like the petty theft, you know? Like one time I came here and I got my phone stolen, like pickpocketing and stuff. Like Ethiopia for the most part, I would say it's like safe. Like you're not gonna get like beat up in the middle of the street. People aren't gonna shoot at you. Like those kind of things aren't normal here. But the one thing that you do have to be mindful of is obviously people are struggling. There's a lot of struggle here. There's a lot of poverty too. So when people are struggling, they have to resort to certain ways to get money, you know, and sometimes that's robbing and stealing, right? Not everyone. I would say it's a very minority population that does these kind of things. Most people are good and honest.
It's all over around the world. Like,
around the world,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
But
So
I would say that would be the one thing that I don't like, obviously, because not only does it affect me, did it affect me? I know certain people who also got their phones and things stolen. But again, in the grand scheme of things, right? This is how I look at my life. Like, if that's the worst thing that happened to me in Ethiopia, then I'm okay. I'm blessed. Okay, my phone got stolen. Big deal. I can get another phone. At least I still have my legs, you know? So, you know, that's one thing that I would say I do, you know, yeah. I hope I didn't offend anyone, but...
yeah, I know it happens everywhere, but you know, sometimes that's so nice to be careful. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
exactly. So let's go further to ask some more question.
Yeah.
There's something you can tell us that you face as something high challenge you face here. You can say maybe like the language barrier, something like that.
Okay, so
or some culture shock.
okay.
Of course, you told me you love the culture,
Yeah.
but if there are some, you can mention.
To be honest with you, the culture is not so shocking. It was a little bit, but I got used to it so fast. The language I started speaking pretty fast.
Also,
Also,
your Amharic is good.
I try, finish.
It's good.
But like, not the culture, because I would say our culture and Pakistani culture is pretty similar. The way you guys eat, the way you are with family, the way you guys greet each other, everything is all love. Like, that's very similar to us in Pakistan. Not in
Okay.
in the West is different. But I would say the challenges, if you ask me, like living here, the challenges were one, the currency. Like bir itself, like Ethiopian bir, it's a tough currency to work with, because once you get out of Ethiopia, you can't really exchange it. So if you make your money in Ethiopian bir, it's a little bit difficult, which I was making my money in Ethiopian bir. So
Okay.
that made it a little bit difficult to like do things outside of Ethiopia,
That means you can't send money if you want, even
outside,
Ethiopia.
yeah. Unless you find somebody here, they can exchange it for you like that. But it makes it a little bit difficult. So the currency was one thing that was difficult. I don't know if that's changing now. Maybe it's changing, but when I lived here, it was difficult. One thing that was difficult at that time, but I feel like it's gotten a lot better now, is the Wi-Fi situation.
Oh, it's getting better.
It's
now,
getting
yeah?
a lot better now,
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Because I remember when I lived here, like getting Wi-Fi in a cafe or in a hotel even was a little bit.
I see you were saying such a thing very, very.
Yeah, it was.
in your last vlog.
Yeah,
of Ethiopia, I've seen that.
it was very difficult at one time, but I feel like it's getting better now, so I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, there's some good improvements.
Yeah. Other than that, honestly, challenges, not so much. I mean, I think I'm somebody who's a little bit more adaptable to different places. So maybe for me, I'm not the best person to ask. I'm sure if you ask some other foreigners, they have a million things that they can complain about. But the key to being a good, sustainable traveler is adapting to your surroundings, adapting to where you are. You cannot come to Ethiopia and expect life to be like America. This is a different country. Their rules are different. Their
Yeah.
culture is different. Traditions is different. Everything is different. So you have to learn to adapt, which I did,
Exactly.
But I would say those were probably the big challenges, at the time.
All
Yeah.
right. If there's something that you notice as a foreigner very different here in Ethiopia, you can mention like, if there is something you notice
Yes.
very different.
Very different.
Maybe something you love so much.
Okay.
I don't know. You can tell us something.
Um,
Because you travel all around the world,
Yes.
I see, so you have some
I would-
experience, so you can share us something.
I would say one thing that's very different is the food, for sure. You will not find any food like Ethiopian food outside of Ethiopia. Like I've been to like different parts of Southeast Asia, and the food can be different, but you'll find a lot of similarities, or even South Asian, like our food, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladesh, even Nepali. All of these cuisines are very similar, but there's nothing like Ethiopian food. So I would say that's very, like, if there's one thing that if you kind of come here that's very different is the Ethiopian food, for sure.
So, what will be your recommendation to someone who's looking to come to Ethiopia? I mean, like, that a must they have to try when they just land here in Ethiopia.
I would tell anyone who's gonna travel here is don't be, even if you're like somebody who doesn't try new things, just try the new things here. Try the food. Go to a local music place and listen to the beautiful music. I mean, Ethiopia is known for their history of music and jazz, and some people say jazz originated in Ethiopia. And the music is one thing I really love, because I'm a big fan of music. So
Okay.
I would say just open yourself up to the culture, because that's what makes this place beautiful. Not the infrastructure and things like that. I mean, obviously there's some nice buildings. Look around,
Yeah.
It's nice. But the thing that makes this place really beautiful is the people and the culture. So talk to the people. One thing that was very interesting for me when I first came here is the fact that like everybody says salam to each other, right? You don't know the guy, you say salam, no, you guys touch shoulders. It's like there's a lot of love there, I don't know how it is now, but when I lived here, it was so much like that.
Still the same, bro.
Still the same, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like the camaraderie between the people, there's like a sense of community, So don't be afraid to like really talk to Ethiopian people, get to learn about the culture. yeah, man, that's what makes this place so beautiful, and
So-
that's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah, bro. Thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for
So-
having me.
Appreciate that. So, have you been out of Addis? I mean, like,
Yes, yes,
you
I
have been to some other place
have.
out of Addis?
I've been to Bahir Dar,
Mhm.
been to Kondar, I've been to Hawassa.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to Harar yet,
okay.
but inshallah, I want to go to Harar because it's also a really holy city for Muslim people.
Exactly,
And
yeah,
me being Muslim, that's something I definitely want to see. But yeah, I've traveled outside of Addis, and I would say outside of Addis is even more of an authentic experience of Ethiopia, because obviously Addis Ababa is a big city, it's the main city.
Yeah.
A lot of main cities, they end up looking the same, feeling the same. But if you go outside of Addis, you really get to feel the true classic Ethiopian experience, I think, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Especially I love Bahir Dar.
Bahir Dar is, yeah.
Such a beautiful
I've
city.
been before a week there, and
I saw your
everything's
videos.
amazing. Yeah, it's very interesting, and you can check out my videos.
Yeah.
I did in Bahir Dar.
Bahir Dar. You showed a lot of things that I never even knew about, like the history and the churches and different things, like beautiful.
Yeah, that's very amazing.
And Lake
city.
Tana is also really beautiful.
Yeah, the biggest lakes of Ethiopia is also there.
Is
So-
it the biggest lake in Africa?
In Ethiopia,
In
it's-
Ethiopia.
yeah, that's what I know.
Okay.
Yeah, in Ethiopia, it's the biggest one.
Okay.
Let's come to our profession.
Yes.
We are YouTubers.
Yes. Yes, we are. It's my camera.
Yeah, exactly.
It's me and my camera.
Yeah, so make
And
sure,
my,
guys,
and my big mouth.
subscribe his channel, Myer Travels.
Please, please. Thank
He's
you.
just doing amazing videos.
Thank you.
So, what will be as a YouTuber you're gonna share to those youngsters or someone who is, planning to be a YouTuber, like a travel video, like the way we do?
Yeah.
What will be some of the insight recommendation you can share
So-
to us?
Well, I mean, there's so many things, but like I would say the one thing is stop caring about what people think. I think one thing that stops us from doing anything that we want to do, that we might be passionate about, is we're too worried about what these outside people are going to think. Look at us, we're walking around right now talking in front of a camera. There's so many people looking at us like, what are these guys doing? And this happens every day when you're vlogging. People think you're crazy, just walking around looking at a camera talking to yourself. But I stopped caring what people think, because I'm very passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and I know from my comments and the people that follow me that they're really inspired, and they love that they get to see the world through my lens, and that makes me keep going, is the people that I get to inspire, and
And you are the one who inspires me to start and just
Thank
learn
you.
a lot from you.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people like yourself who've been watching my videos, you felt inspired. Like that's why I do this, So one thing I would tell people is don't worry about what people are gonna say. If you know you're doing the right thing, if your intentions are in a good place, and you know that you're not doing anything to hurt anyone, then go ahead, do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, those people you're not gonna see them again. They're not gonna pay your bills. So do it. Another thing I can say is if you start YouTube and you really want to do it, be consistent. Don't just start and then forget about it. As you know, also, the consistency wins, especially on YouTube.
Especially on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the main thing one need to have.
You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
So I would say just if you start, you find what you want to do, find your specialty, either whether it's travel, whether it's football, whether it's reaction videos, whatever it is, and do something that you love, because that's when it's not going to feel like work. For us, we don't feel like this is work. We're just enjoying ourselves, right? But we
Yeah.
are working. We're doing our job. But at the same time, we do what we love. So,
Let's cross and we'll keep
yeah. We
talking.
gotta cross the street. This takes some focus.
And we have to be careful as we cross it, man.
So, but yeah, I think that's the.
Someone's calling me. Yo, bro!
What's up, bro?
Someone now.
So, yeah, man, it's all about consistency. I mean, anything you do in life, it requires consistency. It requires you to dedicate yourself, But yeah, those two are the biggest things for me, because those two things took me the longest time to get past. One, what are people gonna think? What is my family gonna think? Whatever. And then the other thing was just being consistent. But when you do something that you love, being consistent is not hard, because you want to get up every day and do it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So-
And you have to make sure, I think, when you just stand to do something, you have to be sure that you love that thing,
Yeah.
especially if it's in YouTube.
Yes.
You have to be clear that you love the content you choose to do. I
Yes,
think.
yes,
That's what you
yes.
said.
Because
and,
I think
that's
the-
what will just keep you to
keep
be
you going.
consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also it shines through. Like when people watch your videos and you're doing something that you love, they're gonna know like, oh, this guy really loves doing this.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
if you're just doing it just because you think you're gonna make money, people can also feel that. And they're not gonna be like, I don't want to watch this person. They're not
Yeah,
passionate.
yeah.
The passion can be felt through the video,
Exactly.
So that's why it's very important to do something that you really feel excited about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Intentionally or in any way, if you love it, just
100%.
yeah, you can do it
100%.
in a perfect.
Yeah.
So that's very good, and I'm very sure they get some insight. And me, I learn a lot. I told you many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still I'm just keeping learning, watching your amazing videos.
Thank you so much, man. And you know what? Now I watch your videos, and I'm so happy to see that.
Thank
First
you.
of all, that I was able to inspire you to do this. And second of all, how great you are, and how much style you have of your own, and you do a great job, man. So
Thank you.
I hope that I hope that the people always watch your videos. Make sure you guys support the boy
Hopefully they will do that.
for sure.
Of course they are doing, and I appreciate that. Thank you. What will be something that you can send as a message for my audience?
About Ethiopia or just
Yeah.
in general?
In general, yeah.
I would say, guys, continue to learn, continue to grow, and that's my message actually. And there is no growth until you leave your comfort zone. Meaning, you have to get a little bit uncomfortable to actually grow. If you just stay in your comfort little bubble, you're never gonna grow. So get outside, learn, grow, keep aspiring to get better. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
And that's the word that keeps me strong, man.
For sure, bro.
Always in the end of your video, you say,
Yeah,
keep growing up.
that's it. That's
Amazing.
it.
So,
Pick up yourself.
I just want to thank you.
Yes, thank you so much,
I
bro.
am very grateful I just got a chance to have you in my channel.
It's my pleasure, man. It's
Thank
my
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Shout out to everyone, man. Peace.
Bro.